So this is the Crystal Quartz group. Hey, everybody. So you've joined me today for a rose reading. This is pile 3, our advanced pile. If you feel drawn to any other piles, feel free to check those out. Sometimes there can be similar cards in the drawer. So satisfying shuffling. You can catch yourself doing it for hours. For all you ASMR fans, okay? All right. This card came out twice in pile 1 and pile 2. This one only came out in pile 1. It was the universe's advice up the top, okay? But it was upright. So if you're in this group, advanced energy, it's just a showcase of that. So there are 2 issues going on here. 2 major ones. So usually this one suggests roadblock. This one weirdly suggested witchcraft. All right, that the energy's become blocked and is unstable around you. Don't worry about it. Okay, just means an energetic challenge that surrounds you. Okay. All right, and there is no pathway at the moment. Okay. I want to keep showing 3 cups. So they're your friends, yeah, who are holding you back, that are doing this potential witchcraft. It can be that they're also of poor faith. Okay, just for the draw so far, we've got the 4 of Swords, we've got the Emperor in reverse. The Emperor did come out for both, yeah. The 4 of Swords came out for the second draw. And the King of Pentacles has not come out. Wants new energy. We've got the Empress and the 6 of Swords in reverse. Ooh, that one wanted to come out. I'm just going to shuffle again. It wanted to come out and then didn't. There we go. The 6 of Wands. Oh, the star's jumping out. There we go. All right, and the back of the deck energy is the Knight of Pentacles. Interesting. That threw it totally off the vibe. All right, because I didn't put this guy here. I had him off to the side. I'm like, ugh, something's off. I'm like, it's the crystal that I normally put up there so you can see which group you're in. That's okay, the draw is the draw. But it's amazing how delicate energy can be, and just how you're with an actual psychic, not a con artist. All right, these 2 are relevant. This one is not. The decision is behind you. You've already made up your mind. Okay. This is past energies, so this is like hyper protectiveness, like due to heartbreak. Okay, now that to me feels like a fortress of solitude as the decision. Okay, I want to be alone. This is the choice. Want to be alone, pushing everyone away, right? There's a cup that's reaching out to you and you're like, nope. This is, my arms are crossed, my legs are crossed. That in physical body language communication is no thank you, right? You're closed off to the experience of water. You're closed off to the experience of spirituality, okay? Is where that lies in a higher level, okay? For you, it's probably just that you say no to a lot of opportunities that come your way and you don't really see that that could lead to potential fulfillment. You just feel like that's a dream or an illusion. Okay, so closed off to the experience, that's why nothing is progressing. All right. So in the past, your solution is like restlessness and lashing out. So you're somebody who has a lot of rage issues and doesn't want to address them. It's everybody else's problem, not yours. It's everybody else's fault, not yours. All right, the Emperor. The solution is that you kind of run away from leadership, and this is a laziness energy. All right, restlessness, and you chose to like rest on your laurels and not do anything about it. So if this was a relationship, which it doesn't feel like it is, it doesn't feel like it relates to a relationship at all. But if it was, you were given other opportunities in life and you decided to move away from that. Right? You decided to be like restless and aggressive about it, and then have just completely abandoned ship. Like all of your responsibilities. It's somebody else's fault, and you have no idea why you can't move forward now. So you can't move on from the relationship if there ever was one, but there wasn't. Okay? Now it just tells you that you haven't met the criteria of a relationship. So if you were like just sleeping with someone, that's not a relationship, even though there are relations of relational energy. Okay, it sounds like there is one, but you have to be like boyfriend, girlfriend, exclusive. Yeah, that's a relationship. The second you're anything else, you're an acquaintanceship, whoring, prostitutional relationships, like you're just having relations with a person. There's no other core going on. You have to have feelings. You have to invest time, money, effort, energy. All sorts of things are the fundamentals of a relationship. They create stability and security. There needs to be an exchange of power. There needs to be exchanges of values, stories about each other, all sorts of things. You need to bear your soul and they need to bear theirs. Otherwise, it's just sex. It's the same as having a prostitutional relationship just without money. Right? There's many criteria that go into relationships in an energetic perspective. Right? How God defines it to be, and also how it is in fact divinely decided in the energy. Science calls this natural laws. Right? What goes up must come down. Relationships have their own scientific law as well. Okay? You can see many experts talk about relationships and how they work and how they don't, and how different dynamics can exist in relationships and different perspectives, but they all follow a similar pattern, which means they have an energetic field around them, and that is the definition of a relationship. And if they're not working, then they're not a relationship. It's something else. Right? The King of Pentacles here just suggests that the universe is like, you need to get your affairs in order. It's a money and resources thing and a comfort. You don't feel comfortable with people, okay? Enough to have a relationship if there was one. Let's strip this back, okay? Because it doesn't feel relational to me, but it's just easy to put it in that context. It feels like you're mad at God. It feels like you're mad at the chances that you have in life. You feel like you're worth so much more than just water. Okay. You see yourself as this emperor. But the second you have an opportunity to be in charge or be an emperor-esque energy, you shy away from that. Okay? You don't have to literally be an emperor to be an emperor. Okay? If you're a natural born leader, you'll just be one. You'll just boss people around. You'll move into some leadership role, or you'll just be the guy who's in charge that everybody sees as in charge. You can be a waiter and be in charge of the entire restaurant and not get paid for that. Happens in the industry all the time, okay? That's a natural born leader. No matter where you put them, they'll just shine, okay? Everybody else is something else, okay? That's Emperor energy. Emperor energy. Emperor, Empress, Kings, Queens. Kings and Queens play more of the game. Emperors and empresses know that they're in charge no matter what. They can bow their ego in a way that the others can't. They're like, give me a crown, give me a castle, give me everything, okay? That's king energy, all right? Emperor energy is like, I don't need those things to define me. I'm just always in charge. That's just who I am. It's different, okay? So you're shying away from this opportunity. You're just restless and angry and agitated at all the things that you feel like you deserve, but you're not doing what's required, okay? You might not be saving up money for your castle. All right, so you can build your own. Be independent. Be independent of the system, okay? Find a way. All right, don't just sit there and complain that you don't have enough, okay? Because this says, I want to get away. The Six of Swords in reverse. I want to get away, but I can't. I don't feel beautiful enough. I don't feel special enough. I don't have enough artistic things around me to express myself. So your artistic escape is gone. All right, someone or something's taken away from you. It might be poverty. I feel like I've lost a part of myself is where I'm coming to here. All right, and I don't feel safe. I'm not okay. There's a background. I don't feel victorious even if I have a victory. It feels hollow. All right, and I don't feel special. I don't feel like I belong, like I fit anywhere. The Aquarian is a solitary energy. All right, I feel weird to everyone else. I wish like there was a place where I could just feel at home, like I belong. Okay, that'll be the core issue. And the energy suggesting here that there is no victory. This is something that takes a long time to work through, and that it is good for you to be by yourself. So it is good that you're feeling isolated. That's helpful. Okay? But that's the universe's advice for you. It's not all hopeless and helpless here. Okay? Sometimes when we're by ourselves, we can work out something new. Like the Fool is presenting itself here. And I'm like, I had it like this, and then it flipped like that in my hand. So I'm like, oh, okay, so that's how I'm meant to read it. But the Fool is actually a card that relates to the star. They're both Uranus energy. So it's just further confirmation, firstly. And secondly, that card, just because it's grabbed my attention. I'm like, huh, okay. It's alien. Like, I feel like an alien. In America, they refer to aliens as coming from another country, okay? So they'll call like a Mexican an alien. It's a very interesting way of thinking of people who are foreigners, which is what we call them here in Australia. Okay, comes from another land or country. All right. In diplomatic circles, we just call them a diplomat or a member of the embassy. Nice flow. Alright. That was that way. Sorry. Stuffed up all my cards. I'm hearing Wind Beneath My Wings by Bette Midler. It's an interesting one to pop into my head, but if that song is significant to you, I remember singing it when I was little. At a talent karaoke. All right, so karaoke can be significant. It was weirdly in like a nowhere sort of town. All right, the Seven of Cups and Son of Pentacles. All right, that's the Knight of Pentacles. I got the Three of Cups here. Yeah, it feels right. And I've got the Death card. That one feels for here. I had it in my hand And I feel like it goes here. Energy feels really heavy all of a sudden. Okay, Three of Wands, Mother of Wands. Yeah, the Queen of Wands. We've got the Seven of Wands and Judgment here. So the rest of them up. The Hierophant. The Hierophant depends on which country you come from. I'm getting a country vibe. The Hierophant would be American. The Hierophant is Australian and English. Gee, I wonder why. Because we're colonized by the British, apparently. Alright, we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Tower. Clarifying the Knight of Pentacles in reverse and the Three of Wands. Yeah. I heard don't worry about it in the card flip like that. Like, I will get through it. It's kind of just maybe giving this reading and just hearing some words of encouragement. They're able to move through this. So it could be a transient energy, as in like, don't worry about it, it's in the past, which kind of is what it feels like, but it comes back in and out in waves. That's okay. Sometimes we just have trigger moments and we just have to move through them. Sometimes you have triggers and you don't cope, and then other times you have triggers and you do cope. You want to get through moments where you have triggers and cope. That means you've moved through it, okay? It just, your brain, your body hasn't, and that's why. Chemically you have, mentally you have, but the physical and emotional scars of what has happened to you may still be there and still able to be triggered and tapped into. Like, eventually you get to a point where it just doesn't, and you move through it. And that's when you've truly transcended through your trauma, okay? Depending on what it is and where it comes from. Like, that's what we're looking for in life. That switch on, switch off, and then eventually, no response to that, okay? And that's how we move through that trauma. And then similar things, they might trigger us off, might bring us back to this place for a bit. But it's just your body and your mind and your spirit and everything trying to get back to where it was before. It's the service of homeostasis in health. And in mental health, it's healing from your trauma. So the Nine of Pentacles here. All right. And the Tower. We've got Mars energy and independent energy. So I'm like, Mars is independent. So is the Emperor. You're no good alone. You don't feel safe and secure. You don't handle that. And that's the solution. You need to learn how to be comfortable in loneliness and be okay with that. And develop a lot of resources on your own and kind of get a peace of mind. It's a peace of mind. Learning how to smell, like in this case it's sunflowers, but I feel like maybe expensive smells would be important, like royalty smells or something like that, like investing in a good perfume or an oil or something like that, something that brings you peace. So aromatherapy could be really helpful. But what I'm noticing here is like, it's coming to peace and also appreciating every moment for what it is. Sometimes we get so focused on the destination that we forget like there's a journey. The tower is a journey, and there's three closed eyes here. Like there's one here and there's two here. I really like that. Right? The all-seeing eye that's kind of bringing nothing but chaos in here. And the rook here from chess, or like a castle if you want to see it in mountains. So there's nothing but, you know, the rulers of your town, country, city, whatever, are bringing you nothing but hardships. They're the cause, they're the root cause from everything, right? The all-seeing eye rules the energy, and your people who are in leadership positions are making the mountains, okay? The energy's trying to fix it, and the rulers are making it worse. Okay? And all you have to do is find your inner peace, and you can move through it. Okay? And those will be held accountable, will be held accountable. That's the idea of the Tower. It's a very deep spiritual card. All right? And this here with the Nine of Pentacles is saying, like, being on your own and embracing your own energies and finding your inner peace and kind of, you know, smelling the roses along the way. Because there will be some. You know, it is about appreciating something little, like enjoying the ripples of the ocean. Okay? And it can be like trying to become at peace with the ripples on your thighs or something like that. Okay? Because it's just a part of who you are. That fat's there to protect you from starvation. So sometimes cellulite is good. We never look at it that way though, because we just see our vanity. I want to be pretty like this flower and whatever. And it's actually about finding an inner peace with the self. It's what the journey is. It's not easy to do, especially for women, especially for me. Like I'll put my cards out on the table as well with that. It's not easy. All right, Seven of Cups, Seven of the Sun of Pentacles. Okay, so it's Knight of Pentacles again. So we've got reversed, and then it's like you feel like you're over it straight away. Right? If I have just everything I want, like look at it. There's like 7 cups of tea here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. The 7th one you got to hold up with 2 hands. And the other 6 you don't. All right. So everything else seems like you have many arms. You've called out for many resources, and you feel like you need them. And that's a huge illusion, all right? That's something that's bringing the all-seeing eye into your life. That there's just constantly, I want more, 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 more. All right, 7 cups is more than you can carry or handle. Like, we've been given 2 hands. Some of us don't even have that. That's why the cup is just always given in one portion. It's a hint. If you have to go back multiple times, you're being greedy or you're not getting what you need. Okay? Long term. You've starved out for a very long time in that case, if you need 7. If you've always had everything that you've always wanted and always needed, maybe you need to look further and look deeper into that, because there's a nutrient or something that you're missing. There's something that you're missing. This Knight of Pentacles here is heavy, heavy, heavy resources. It's always resources, and these are ants. So the resource is hard work. Okay? All right? I've worked hard. I feel like I deserve this. You need to check and make sure that you have, in fact, worked hard. 1, 2, 3, 4 ants. Make sure you're working very hard. Because that's a sign that you're not. You should be working as hard as it takes to keep your entire kingdom clean, and your workspace, and everything else that you own and run. Maybe you have too many things. You want to embrace some minimalism. 1 coin and then many. 9 here. So you want 9, you only need 1, and a lot of hard work. So that tells you. The signs are everywhere. All right. The 3 of Cups for restlessness. So you've been betrayed by some friends. I had that read earlier, and it's just been confirmed by the spirit. So yeah, infidelity, so people who cheated you. And 3 friends, okay, all bound by vines. Okay, people who do vines are people of the forest. They're not people of the fae. Usually they're witches who celebrate. So I'm like, again, there was a witchy vibe earlier. All right, they're usually really, really sexy. It's like witches energy. So somebody who lures you in for candy is usually really sexy, but they end up just eating you for dinner. Okay? It's an energy you've got to be very careful of. A wise person doesn't fall for that. That's why we say don't hop in the car with strangers to children. Even if they offer you candy, like run away. Those sayings are there for a reason, because that's how killers of children lure them in as well. It's like, it's a beautiful story, Hansel and Gretel, but when you really think about it, that's where these sayings come from in the end. So you know what witches used to be. All right. Death, destruction, decay. If you're not growing, you're decaying. Ah, Plato. What a wise man. All right. That's what this energy feels like. You are not in a position to grow right now. So are you in fact decaying? Plato may have said that. And there is an essence of that. If you're not constantly working on stuff, then you will in fact decay. It's the work that he's missing in that statement. The energy to transform and transcend. That's the wisdom of death. It's the wisdom of Pluto. That's where we're better than Plato. All right, even though we play with man's dough. So, the death. The moth. Moth to a flame. Whatever you're attracted to is leading you astray. Okay? So your friends are luring you in definitely with your version of candy. And they are doing nothing but betrayal. Okay? And you're restless because there's an instinct inside of you, a deeper spirituality that knows, but you don't want to be weird. You don't want to stand alone. Okay? You don't want to lose your friends. Fair enough. You can see that, you can feel that, you can hear that. Alright? This is an advanced group. You don't feel safe on your own. Okay? The Mother of Wands here. You lose your creative spirit. And the Three of Wands, you feel like you lose your strength and your ability to lead. That's a very difficult thing to overcome as well. Creative blocks, you need a muse. You need something that inspires you, lights you up, makes you see the world differently. Sometimes people around you help you to do that, or there's a creative process that you in fact have, okay? And trying to come up with a new one, at some point you will hit a block because you need many things to inspire the soul. If we do the same thing every day, eventually we build up a tolerance to it. And this roadblock, this fear that you have for creativity is just something that it's just a roadblock, and you need to learn how to maneuver differently and move through it. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I hear you. Change is hard, but then you're not being the leader that you claim to be. You're not really living up to that. Because leaders step up in challenges. Sometimes we have to step out, take a vacation, sure, rest, but then come back to it. Find a different strategy, a different technique, a different way of approaching it. If you're not doing that, you're really just lying to yourself and saying that you're a leader when you're not. Okay, you have to put your money where your mouth is. This is just the chips are down moment instead of the chips are up. Can you really read this person at poker? Or are you just a chump? This is your moment. Champ or chump? Sink or swim, choke or breathe. Alright, Seven of Wands. Judgment. I did nothing but that just then. Right? Did it in a very spiritual way if it doesn't make you feel very strong. Strength is a judgment, okay? It means that you've based this in some kind of mystery and illusion in a way. All right? The Venus, you feel like there's a lot of love that's missing in your particular issue. Can't prove it's them. You can't prove it's them. You can't prove it's not the love of your life either. The truth will reveal itself. Right? You'll see the light and it'll be inside of you. There is a reflection. That it's partly you and you don't want to face that. Okay? But it's disturbing your inner peace. It's taking it away from you. Okay? There are 3 friends who are heavily influencing you negatively. That is bringing like a evil eye energy on you because they're jealous. They're jealous of what you are. They can see inside your soul and they want it. Look how complicated it is. Look how detailed it is, right? And it's in beautiful black and white here. And there's all this color, and then there's you, right? The light that is you in the world, and it's unique and it's special, all right? And they feel like they're the same. They feel like they're not you, and they want this complexity and this beauty and this deepness and this development, this detail. You know, all these tiny little details. You must be very detail oriented at work, or you've got an OCD or something like that. All right, and they admire it. All right, maybe you do keep a clean house. Right, they don't have that, and they're jealous because they're all messy. Could be. There could be a million things. You'll have to work that out. You'll need to do some introspection. That's what this card is talking about. Seven of Wands, laying it all down on your table and making decisions in your heart space, in your soul, and then finding a peace with this. Okay, that's where your strength lies. Not running away. You know, you feel that way. Aww. We don't run from our problems, okay? We can vacation. Just, I can't do it today. I need to, like, drink my drinks and forget, or whatever. Whatever your process is, okay? That's your own business. It's usually drinking, especially in Australia. we tend to be alcoholics here. But it doesn't have to be. But usually it's like, I'm not doing any homework. I'm not doing anything, okay? Depending on your deadlines, you have to work out whether that's appropriate. Some people never vacation. They have to just mentally vacate, okay? People like in the military or people in leadership. If they were vacationing all the time, we wouldn't have a country that runs. So someone's always working harder than you. Yeah. And you get all this beautiful time to just sit and think and be with your thoughts and your feelings and all sorts of stuff. What a luxury that they don't have. Maybe some gratitude will be helpful. And appreciating where you are versus other people, that you have it better than them. That can be gratitude too, right? It's called comparison, and it makes you feel really good in psychology. And feeling good's important to you, but is it helping you find your center? That's something you have to decide. This card here, the Hierophant, says no. All right, so maybe we're making some mean comparisons to people instead of nice ones, or we're reliant totally on that skill. And it could be that we need to develop others. It says it won't be victorious long-term like you'd like it to be, this sustained Venus, the Hierophant, and it's definitely not going to bring you a family or inner peace. All right, this is inner peace and inner love and the wisdom of the owl here, okay? So the things that you want to be victorious in and will bring you death. This is the evil eye that's here inside of you. So this death sign here, the judgment sign here, the jealous friends. Real talk, they could be planning to kill you, but it's usually energetic, okay? All right, I don't like to say that stuff lightly, but you can go through a spiritual energetic death. The owl suggests death. So this can be that they're going to completely destroy you. It's going to be really hard for you to pick yourself back up and go again. And you'll need to find your inner peace first to recover from that. That's mainly what death means in spirituality. But I don't pretend that death doesn't exist. So be wary if they're people who participate in dangerous ventures. So maybe they could be military or like gangsters or whatever, okay? I don't pretend that everyone is not welcome on my channel. Okay, Ace of Swords, Six of Wands, sorry. All right, with the Star card in reverse. Again, the solution with you feeling weird and you don't want to be alone is, again, peace. Peace will set you free from all of this. Stop participating in activities of the forest. That's usually drinking like herbal teas and soups. If you're into like incantations and mantras, now's not the time to do that. So if you're somebody who repeats things over and over and over, that's something that you could hold yourself stop yourself from doing, and then you will have your victory, which is reflected here. No victory here, but long term you could have a victory if you find this inner peace with yourself and accept you for who you are. Holly, you'll have to wait. It's just my dog. Let's see the last piece of advice here. I always have her with me. She helps me with reads. You know the doggy cries. Won't be long. Puppy, you'll have to wait. Alright, here we go. Get grounded. The answer that you seek is yes. So I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't usually interpret those too much unless it like jumps out at me. I'm like, the answer is yes. Whatever question you have in your head, the answer is yes. Get grounded. Interesting that this is reversed. So empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature. So just do not connect with nature. That is not how you get grounded. So there must be some other way. So nature is not the solution to nurture oneself and for you to find personal peace. Okay, seeing like the American sort of eagle. So I'm thinking of just like strong American activities. I don't know, I imagine like shooting cans is where I go with that. Because that's a common pastime of Americans. So eating donuts maybe. and other insulting stereotypes. All right, so get grounded. Do you know your purpose and your processes? I would say embrace other cultures because it's come through a few times as well. So be prepared to find your inner peace, maybe by rolling in the deep. I'll leave it there. Bye.